Alright, today I am going to show you another video about XBMC. This time we're going to go through one-channel subscriptions. And one of the first things I want to do, now remember I'm trying to make this as easy as possible because I have some family and some friends that want to know how to do this, but they're not really good at even navigating their file system. So I'm going to do this a little differently than I would do it myself, just to make it a little more simplified. I am not on Windows, I am in Linux, but this is what I would start off with doing to make this as simple as possible. Go into your user folder on Windows and maybe go into your downloads folder. That might be the easiest place for you to do it because you know how to get to your downloads. And then within that, create two new folders. Now remember, I am in Linux, so this looks a little different than it will on your own computer, unless of course you're in Linux as well. But basically I just want you to go to either your username folder, your home folder, your downloads folder. In this case I'm going to put it in downloads, and we're going to name one folder TV shows. And we're going to create another folder and we're going to name it movies. Now, what is going to go into these folders, TV shows and movies, are not going to be actual TV shows and movies. They're simply going to be links to these movies and TV shows that XBMC through 1channel will be able to find and use to start playing movies and TV shows that you have subscribed to. So you don't have to worry about a bunch of space. This doesn't take up much room at all. It's not like you're putting entire video files on your computer. Nothing like that whatsoever. Okay, now that we have those two folders created, remember where you created them. If you created them in your downloads folder, then remember where they are at. If they are in your username folder, remember that, because we're going to need that in just a moment. Now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and start XBMC. And one thing I'm going to tell you is that XBMC, the 1channel add-on, has a little bit of a spelling mistake in one of the files. And because of this, it doesn't want to automatically update these links to these TV shows and movies. And you want it to be able to do that, especially with TV shows, because new shows are going to be airing. And as new shows come on, you want the new links to come in. So what we need to do is there is a built-in repair for this. And how we're going to do that is on your menu bar, you're going to scroll across to Past System to Toolkit. And underneath, you will then see where it says Fixes. Click on Fixes. And the first time you open this, I've already opened this so it didn't pop up. The first time you open this, a box will pop up. You can just click OK or click Cancel and give it a moment to load, and this will come up. And what you're going to look for is 1channel subscription fix. Just simply click on that. It only takes a moment and it'll tell you that it's all done. Thanks. Click OK. Now it has fixed that simple little mistake that's in that file, and your subscription should work fine. Click your home button. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to set up our 1channel. So we're going to go into System, click underneath Settings, and on the left hand side choose Add-ons. Now what we're going to do is go to Enabled Add-ons, because in the last episode I showed you how to enable the 1channel add-on. Go to Video Add-ons and highlight 1channel add-on. Now, we need to access the settings for this, and the way you do that in XBMC is to bring up a menu, is to click the C button on your keyboard, which is the context menu. So click C while highlighting over the 1channel and choose Configure. This is very simple. It's really not difficult at all. Just follow the steps. And if you scroll across, one of the things you may want to enable here is under Auto View. Just go down here and click on this, and normally this is not highlighted blue. You see now it's off, and if I click it to where it's blue, then it is on. Back up at the top, we'll scroll across one more tab and you'll see library integration. Now this is where it gets important to remember where you put those files that you created, those folders. At the very top one under library integration is the TV show folder. So what you're going to do is click on the TV show folder, and what you want to do is, just a moment, I'm going to back out and I'm going to navigate to where I created that folder. And remember, these double arrows allow you to go backwards or up one level. So you want to browse to wherever your username is and downloads, and then to, in this case, TV shows, if that's where you created your file. And here it is. And then you would click OK. And on the movie folder, you would do the same thing. You can see I've already got a movie in here. It's because I was testing this earlier. I'm going to explain this here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to click the back buttons to get out of it. Automatically wants to create it deep in your user data, add-on data. That's why I chose to go the route of putting it in your own downloads folder. It just makes it easier. So notice this one, by the way, does not have the two dots. If I just arrow back, use the backspace button, I'll go up another level. And I'm going to go to my home folder, downloads, and choose movies. And then click OK. Now if this was you, it would be your username and then downloads TV shows, your username, downloads movies. You also want to enable automatic subscription updates. Again, when you first do this, that may not be on. So you want to click on that, make sure it's blue so that you know it's on. Subscription update interval. This is going to change how often it's going to go out and search for updates to your subscriptions, new links. So you can change this to whatever setting you want. I'm just going to leave it at 15 hours for now. And I like to turn off update library afterward. I let it do that after I'm completely finished. And clean up subscriptions for ended shows. I turn that off because I watch a lot of shows that are ended, so I don't want that being removed. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK now. And now what we can do is hit your home button, and we're going to now scroll. One more thing. If for some reason when you hover over videos it does not show one channel pinned underneath, this is how you do this. You want to go to System, Settings, choose Skintegrate, and go up to Add-on Shortcuts. And if this first line where it says under Homepage Videos submenu, if it says Add-on 1 and there is nothing there, it's just blank, simply click on it. This will pop up, choose one channel, and then click OK. And then it'll be there. So now if you hit your home menu button and scroll across to videos, now it'll show up. So now what we do is we go into one channel, and you can see you have a choice of movies and TV shows. This is where you are going to search for movies and TV shows that you want to subscribe to. So in the case of television shows, TV shows, we're going to go in here and go to Search. And you type in something that you're searching for. Like I was trying out earlier, The Walking Dead. That's a very popular one. Click the Done button, and you'll see in the bottom right it says it's working. Now this one's highlighted green because I've already subscribed to it, but what you would do is you would highlight over the TV show that you're wanting to subscribe to, click your C button again to bring up that context menu. It's always C, and then you would choose Subscribe. For TV shows it's Subscribe, and for movies it'll be Add to Library. So for TV shows, Subscribe, and then it'll pop up down here telling you that you've subscribed. Of course, I've already done that. Now, if I go to the button with the two dots, or I could just use my backspace button on my keyboard and go back. I could do more searches and look for more TV shows, but I don't want to take too much time, so we're going to go to movies. So if I go to movies and I did a search, and the reason I was searching for The Shining was because that was one I knew that there was a remake of off the top of my head, and I wanted to use that as an example. The Shining. And this is a common problem in XBMC. I'm not sure why it does this, but you'll see that it, excluding the making of The Shining here, you'll see that there's The Shining and it says it's from 1980, and underneath the third one says The Shining from 1980. Well, they're not both The Shining from 1980. If I was to click the wrong one of these, I would get the newer one rather than the old one, the original. So the way around this is if you go ahead and go back to your menu, excuse me, your home button, and then exit XBMC. I'll show you a little something here using the website. Okay, if we go to the website, which is, by the way, primewire.ag. Okay, and you have a choice of searching by movies or by TV shows, and you'll see this listed here, movies or TV shows. It's automatically on movies, so since we're searching for a movie, we'll just leave it there. But if you, for some reason, you're searching for a TV show and it comes up, says there's nothing found, you might want to try clicking on TV shows and then doing your search again, because it very well could be there. So anyway, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to type The Shining and click enter, and now you will see it's something entirely different. Again, here's the making of The Shining, but the two movies that is showed at link 1 and link 2 was The Shining at 1980, which is the original that I was looking for, and the remake, The Shining in 1997, which is the one I don't want. So I know by counting across, I know which one I would want. If it was this one, I would know I'd want link 3. If it's this one, I want link 1. So that can come in very handy. So if I go back into XBMC again and go back to our video add-ons and go to the 1channel add-on, back to movies, and back to search, and I'll just leave that search in there because that's the one I'm going back to. Now I know that the first link is the original. So if I go ahead and I highlight it and hit C on my keyboard for the context menu, now I can go add to library. Again, with TV shows, it's subscribe in your context menu. With movies, it is add to library. Okay, now that it has added that, I'll go ahead and hit my menu button, and you could continue on doing this and adding several in, getting it all set up with your favorite movies and your favorite television shows. But here's the thing, it's still not showing up in my menu bar. As you can see, there's nothing here saying movies or TV shows. How you do that is you go to videos, hold on a second, and underneath videos it'll say files and add-ons. Choose files. And if you're not in the right spot, you just keep clicking on the double dot buttons, or you can use your backspace button till you see this where it says files, playlists, and video add-ons. Choose files and then choose add videos. Now from here, again, you got to remember where you had those folders created that you made. So we're going to go to browse, and in my case I'm going to go to my home folder, and I'm going to click on downloads, and let's do movies first and click OK. And then right here you can choose to name it whatever you want. It's chosen movies for me, and that's default. That's fine. That's what I want it named anyway. So now I'll just click OK. Now this is going to come up and it's going to ask you to set your content. and you'll see two little arrow buttons. Since I am working on movies currently, what I need to do is I want to scroll through here and find a scraper. In this case, I'm going to use the moviedb.org for my movies. And I don't want to tell it that I have a single video or to exclude paths or anything of that sort. So I just want the movie database, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit OK and tell it yes. And it is scanning in The Shining. Now I have to do TV shows. So you'll see movies is now showed up here. I'll go ahead and click add videos again, and this time I'm going to click the browse button and browse to where my folder I created in downloads for TV shows. Click OK, and now you can see the path here. And down here it says enter a name for this media source, and it says TV shows. If I didn't want it named that, I could click there and I could rename it. But I'm going to leave it on TV shows and click OK. This time around, it's going to ask me to set the content, and since I'm doing television shows, I'm going to choose the tvdb.com for my scraper. And I'm going to go ahead and tell it OK and tell it yes, and it will start looking. There it did. It scanned in, and if I click my home button now as I scroll across my menu bar, you will see movies, and for some reason it didn't pick up my TV shows, and I think that's because of the fact that I had already subscribed to that video earlier. So let me go ahead and try a different television show search in 1channel. Let's see. Let's say trying to think. Counting Cars. That's a show I like. Go ahead and hit done. Okay. So there it found Counting Cars. I would highlight it, click C, and subscribe. Now, it still hasn't added the TV shows onto my menu yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on movies and highlight over my movie, click C, and go ahead and click update library. And now you'll see it is scanning in Counting Cars. And so you can go ahead and continue to add in your movies and your television shows. It takes a little time doing it, but once you get it all in there, you can do the same thing again. You can just go into your movies or your TV shows folder on your menu bar right here. Now you see TV shows is showing as well, movies and TV shows, and you just click on one of them, highlight over one of the movies or TV shows that's in your folder, click C, update library when you're all finished, and it'll go ahead and it'll scan those all in. And as you can see now, if I click TV shows, there's Counting Cars. And if I was to click on Counting Cars, it'll show me seasons 1 and 2. If I click on season 2, it shows me all the episodes, and I can just click one, and then it pops up a box with lists of all the links that I can choose to play it from. If they're in yellow, they're verified links. Usually I find that there are certain servers that are better than others, and a lot of times it's better to stick with the ones that have the higher views. So in this case, since Footlocker is already a verified link, I'll click it. It'll tell you it's opening stream, and here in a moment it would start playing that video. There it is. You can pause or play using your spacebar on your keyboard, or if you move your mouse, controls will pop up down here, and as you move it away in a few seconds that would go away. If you need to stop, you can either hit the stop button here, or you can use X on your keyboard, and that'll stop that. And again, I can just backspace, backspace, backspace. Another nice option is there are USB receivers and remotes that you can buy, and you can control this with an actual remote. You can hook this up to a television, running it through a computer. or I use a Raspberry Pi connected to my television, and then have a remote as well. I think that is about it for this particular video. The next video, I think we'll get into some extra settings we can do in XBMC itself. And take a look through these other add-ons that are pinned down here, or that you maybe added into your videos add-ons list. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and they're all different and bring different types of content. Some of them are live streaming things, if you want to watch live streaming television, and some of them are pick a link and play kind of things, like the 1channel. But it's a lot of fun, and it's very useful, and you can find just about anything you want to watch. I think that's about all for today, though. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.